this is Aileen Miracle from Mrs. Miracle's Music Room. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to talk today about I'm going to talk today about my subtub. So I have my music subtub right here. And I'm going to just talk you through how I created it and what's in it and all that good stuff. So a little bit of background about my subtub and how I created it. When I was in my first few years of teaching, no one had really ever talked to me about how you write subplans even, or what a subtub was. I'm not even sure that terminology was used back then. And it wasn't until several years ago when Pinterest became more popular that I started hearing about the term subtub and seeing pins of people's subtubs on Pinterest. And I was really kind of fascinated and thought, wow, this looks really cool and really organized and beautiful. For many years, it has taken me easily, 2 hours to write subplans, sometimes even more. And when you're sick, at midnight when you're throwing up and you realize you have to write subplans the next day, the last thing you want to do is to have to write subplans. So I have found it really useful to have this subtub. Please comment below if you have been in a similar situation and you've had to spend 2 hours or more. If you have any horror stories to share with us, I'd love to hear that. Not that I love to hear that you have spent 2 hours or more, but hopefully what I'll show you today will help kind of alleviate that and minimize the time that you spend on that. So like I said, it's really helped minimize that time, and I'm going to show you what is in here. So this tub right here is from Target, and I got this many years ago. I actually still have the sticker on the back of this, and it says it is by Room Essentials, and it is called a tabletop file storage box. I don't know if they still have this at Target because I did get it several years ago, but just in case, you're able to go on Target's site or go into Target and look for that. But really, any hanging file folder box should work just fine. And if you're wondering about the cover on this, this is actually something that you can download if you go to my blog at www.mrsmiraclesmusicroom.com. And it's not the most recent blog post, especially if you're watching this later. But if you go down a few blog posts, there's one about 5 easy subplans. And then if you are still can't find it, you can go to the right-hand side of the blog and just type subplans and you'll be able to find it. So in that download, all you have to do is enter your email address. And I send out, at this point, I'm just sending out like a monthly newsletter, and each newsletter includes a freebie. So if you enter your email address, you'll get that monthly newsletter with a freebie, but then you'll also get the subtub cover as well as 5 free editable subplans, which I'll talk about more in a minute. But the file is like a PowerPoint, and you can just type your own name into this and then print it out and put it on top of your subtub. So I'm going to show you what else is in my subtub. So in this, like I said, it's like a hanging file folder box, and you'll see lots of goodies in there, but I'm going to kind of pull out one thing at a time so you can see. My first folder in here is just a general information folder, so I'll pull that out. And the first thing in here is, this is actually from yesterday because I had a sub yesterday for a scheduled absence, and so this is my schedule for the week. But I also have just a general one that could work for any week. And then I have just general information like here's how to work my smartboard, here's how to work my iPod, technology kind of stuff. And then, what are the duties and all that good stuff. What do you do for fire drills? What do you do for safety response drills? Anything like that is in there. So, and also, like, if you have a teacher that you like to refer a sub to, like, if you're having technology difficulties, I had that happen recently where my librarian, a friend of mine, Amy, she's great, and I was able to put in my subplans, please see Amy if you have any problems. And lo and behold, there were quite a few problems. So he was able to go to her for those issues. So you can put anything like that into this folder. It's just a general information folder. And then I have a health concerns folder, which I'm not going to open because obviously privacy issues, but you know, you often get like sheets from your nurse about any health concerns, and it could be like peanut allergies or latex allergies, but sometimes they're more serious and it's something a sub definitely needs to know, like if there's epilepsy or diabetes or anything like that. You can put this in a folder, and then I have it all sorted with paper clips by day. I have like an A through E schedule, but it's also kind of confusing because I have my kindergartners come Monday through Friday. They're in a Monday through Friday schedule, and everybody else has an A through E. So I have my first through fifth graders organized A through E, and then kindergartners are Monday through Friday. So it's kind of confusing. You can do whatever works for you. So I have all my health concerns in there, and I say in the general information, please check the health concern folder so that they can see if there's anything that needs to be, you know, monitored. And then I have file folders by grade level. So I have like a kindergarten file folder here that has a bunch of different lesson plans for kindergarten. And it has, some of them have materials and copies with it. And as far as where I got the lesson plans, some of them I've just written over the years. I'm sure you might have a folder on your desktop that has, you know, just sub-plans that you've written over the years. I have several lesson plans in here that are from, like I have a singing with a subset on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's the first product in my store if you go to my store at Teachers Pay Teachers, and it has several lesson plans for several different grade levels. And so I've printed a lot of those out and have put them into the file folder. And I also have one called Out of This World Subplans, same kind of thing. But then if you go to that blog post that I just talked about where you can get this freebie here, there's also 5 editable subplans that are free that you can download just by entering in your email address. I actually just used those yesterday for my sub. And you can, you know, use them as written. You can edit them. I actually combined 2 of the lesson plans because I see my kids for 15 minutes at a time. So I was able to combine them. And then you can, you know, print out whatever subplans you have, and then you can, you know, put them into a K folder or one folder. And like some of these lesson plans, like I have this one is just kindergarten, but this one right here, it's a Down by the Bay Centers one with these cute little moose kissing a goose or a goose kissing a moose. This one is kindergarten first and second grade, so you could copy it and put it in the kindergarten folder and the first grade folder and the second grade folder. And there are 2 reasons for this. The first way I like to use a subplan is if you have an unscheduled absence, like I talked about before, if you are throwing up in the middle of the night or your child is really sick or whatever that may be, you don't want to have to, first of all, write subplans when you're feeling that way. And you also don't want to have to drive to school, because I have done that before. And, you know, some people have a really horrible commute. I used to commute more than an hour to school when I first started working in my district. And now I have half an hour commute, which is still, that would be hard when you're sick. So I love having this because then you can, if you're really sick, you could just say, you know, send a message to the sub that says, just pull whatever subplans you want from, you know, whatever kindergarten lesson plan you want from the folder, whatever first grade lesson plan you want from the folder, however you want to do that. It's so much easier. And then the second way I like to use it is for scheduled absences. So like I said, I just had a class yesterday, I had some professional development. So the day before I was able to just go, okay, I didn't have any kindergarten yesterday, but I had all the other grade levels, and I was able to just look at what subplans they had done before and then just pull whatever ones I wanted and just put them on my desk. And when my subplan or when my subtub is really ready and I don't, you know, have anything missing from it, it literally has taken me 10 minutes before, which is so much better than 2 hours. So I have a kindergarten file folder, and then, you know, for every grade level you teach, you can have a different file folder. And I like to make sure I have at least a few lesson plans in each folder so that it's easy to pull whatever I need. And then after I have K through 5, I also have some materials in here. So in my subplans, I will either tell the sub, you know, where to find the materials they need. If it's a scheduled absence, then I'll leave the materials out on my desk, or I'll leave it in the subtub, whatever works for you. If it's a small enough item, then you can just put it into the subtub. So like here, I have a pocket for Lucy Locket, And I have some picture books like What a Wonderful World, and Jazzfly is a great one for subplans. And the CD is in there as well. So mostly books and just some other goodies in here that could work for materials. And then I have a couple more things in here. I have a folder called Subplans to Use Later, which is actually pretty full. And the reason I have this is, like, let's say you have a subplan that practices half note, but your second graders haven't gotten there yet, then you can put it into the subplans to use later, and then after your second graders have learned half note, then you can pull it from that folder and put it into the second grade folder because they're ready for that at that point. And then I have here I have a folder that's these are actually all lessons for Halloween. I have a set on Teachers Pay Teachers that's, I think it's called Subplans for a Day, or Lessons for a Day, all about Halloween, and all of them are Halloween focused. So if you have themed lessons like that, where, you know, the sub could kind of have more of a seamless day where they're kind of teaching a lot of the same kinds of things all day instead of jumping from one concept to another, then you could have a separate folder for that. And then I also have a folder in here called If No Sub. I don't know if any of you have experienced, sorry, my Lucy Lacquer packet got caught there. I don't know if any of you have experienced a sub shortage. Please comment below if you have had that issue. It was a big issue at the beginning of last year and the year before that, and luckily it's a lot better now. But in that case, I don't know what it's like in your school if there's no sub, what's expected as far as specials go. You know, if you're gone and they can't get a sub for you. But the policy at our school is that just specials are just canceled. So I have a folder here so that, you know, classroom teachers often really need that planning time to answer emails or make a phone call or whatever that may be. So if they still have to have their kids because specials are canceled, then I have a couple. I have a Beethoven Lives Upstairs here for grades 3 to 5. And then for K to 2, I have, we still do actually have VCRs in my building. So I have this Notes Alive, Dr. Seuss's My Many Colored Days, one of my favorite videos ever. Really fun. That they can watch. They can just pop it in there, and that way they can get a little bit done and the students are still seeing something musical. I don't like to leave, you know, a whole lot of videos, but in this case I think it's really appropriate. So I think that's pretty much it as far as the materials in there. Like I said, if you go to my blog at www.mrsmiraclesmusicroom.com and you sign up for the email list, then you can get the subtub cover, and then you can get the editable subplans as well, so that you can just, you know, download them, edit them however you want, and then you have a good start to your subtub. I would love to hear if you have any ideas for your subtub that I did not mention in this. Hopefully this has been helpful to you, but I would love to hear your ideas as well. And I really appreciate you watching, and just comment below if you have any questions, and have a great day. Bye.